Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily Tesla report for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with the big picture here, and that is that we've bottomed out here over the last few weeks at a 7-month, 8-month channel bottom that is now at 400.02 on the weekly chart. The same exact formation on the daily chart is at 399.68. And if we were to close below 400.02 on Friday by a full 1% margin, that would be 396.02. We'd enter a sell signal that should have consequences well into the first quarter. But until then, this is a buy pullbacks market off of that April low. We are actually anticipating still 528.94 so long as we hold above this channel bottom. And I give this 2 to 3 months roughly. Now, if you break down into the 2 to 3 week time frame, let me see, do I have a chart that actually just kind of breaks that down well? Not really, because we've got all this noise in between. But if you can see this channel bottom at 399.68, you're bottom picking the 400.02 level on the weekly chart. You've got a descending channel top at 450.42. And that is our 2 to 3 week time frame. We did come off of this 399.68 channel bottom about a week and a half ago, and we're about 2/3 of the way to 450.42. We've yet to close above this horizontal channel top, and I have that as a up pivot. As you can see, if we close above it today, we should see 540.42 within just a few days, possibly by Friday's close. On the other hand, if we close below 424.63, which is a rising channel bottom over the last week of activity, then we've got a good weekly high. And over the same time frame, possibly by Friday's close, we retest 399.68. But it is 399.68 where you can bottom pick the market through the rest of December, and above which the 520s remain a 2 to 3 month target. And on the way up, we've got 540.42 that can contain weekly buying pressures. We could top out at 540.42, fall back to 399.68 within 2 to 3 weeks, and continue to fill this wedge out for the next 3 or 4 weeks potentially. But given the longer term, and that is to say, given the longer term support at 399.68, and what I mean by longer term, it comes off the April low, and that is longer term.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Given the fact that we have a 528.94 objective, you've got a rising channel top as well in the 520s. I think the odds favor then, at some point, a settlement above 540.42. In other words, I think odds favor a settlement above 540.42 before a settlement below 399.68. But the market is going to do what the market is going to do, and we respond accordingly. And if we do close above 540.42 over the next week or two, and if you've yet to go long, if you did not bottom pick the market at 399.68, and if you're a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week swing trader, that's a beautiful opportunity to go long above 540.42, because I think you're all about 3 to 5 weeks before reaching into this low 500 region. 528.94 represented by a horizontal line here is actually a 5-year rising channel top that, if tested in the coming months, can contain buying not only through the first quarter, but possibly into later 26. Let's cover the downside properly. I did mention how closing today below 524.63 does mark a good high for the week, and we should revisit 399.68 within 3 to 5 days. This could be a high volatility sell-off Thursday, Friday as well. By the end of the week, we just might test 399.68. 399.68, once again, able to contain selling into Q1 and above which 528.94 remains a 2 to 3 month objective. But if over the coming week or two we do happen to close below 399.68 and you're long from this area, or if you're long at all and your time horizon is typically, 2 to 3 months or beyond, my suggestion is to lighten up on that near-term investment. With a settlement below 399.68, I would expect 366.75 within a week, 2 at the most, 313.60 within a month, 2 months at the most. 313.60 is a rising two-thirds speed line on that daily chart, represented here by a horizontal line. You've also got a 5/8 downside Fibonacci from that April low against that recent high in October in the same location. So that could be it to the downside if we close below 400.02 by a 1% margin. But I've been mentioning all along how you've got these wild swings for the last year of activity, actually a little bit more than a year now. And closing below 400.02 would be consistent with that. In other words, you must allow for the possibility of a full route south into the low 200 region. I'm not going to say that I expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it within, say, 3 to 5 months of closing below 400.02. But the more reliable approach, as I've been mentioning, is a stair step where closing below 400.02, perhaps you reach for 315 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least 3 or 4 months on that 1 to 2 month play. You, yes, might also reach for 200 strike out of the money puts that don't expire. I would go a year out on this 3 to 5 month possibility. And this, yes, you're going to be spending more on those out of the money puts the further out you go, but you're preserving sort of the bang for your buck. You keep your delta alive, the rate of change of the option relative to the stock itself, by reducing theta, by reducing the time decay, which accelerates about a month and a half out. So you don't want to get too near term, despite the fact that it's enticing to buy those cheaper options. They oftentimes don't play out well, at least in those time horizons. So I think I've said it all. Please click like, share, subscribe. If you're an occasional NVIDIA watcher and you haven't watched in a while, just know that NVIDIA is going into the wickedstocks.com platform starting next Monday, December 8th, where it'll be part of our suite of daily and weekly analysis, including the Daily SPY, Daily Triple Q, our 2 stock picks a week, our weekly Apple stock analysis, and soon, next Monday, will be NVIDIA in that family of analytical videos. So if you're an NVIDIA follower, just know that if you come back to our YouTube channel in a week or two and you can't find NVIDIA, you'll know where to find it, wickedstocks.com. I'm going to leave it at that for Wednesday's Daily Tesla Report, and you have a great day.